All eyes on the President. President, may I request you to please wear your jewel.
Thank you, Sergeant Past President Rani. At the outset, first let me call this meeting, the 15th regular meeting of the Rotary Club of Madras, to order. While seated, may I seek a minute of silent invocation from all of you? Thank you. I now request Rotarian Rajesh to play the Rotary Anthem, and for the benefit of so many of you, this has been written by one of our Rotarians and edited by us members. It's just the band and the singer are friends of ours. Thank you very much. The anthem, please.
At 1, 2, 3, and 40 we rocked. 5, 6, 7, and 80 we rocked. 8, 9, 10, and 90 we rocked. Hey, rock, rock, rock. Hey, rock, RCM rocks. Rotary rocks. Baby, at 93 we walk the talk. Hey, rock, RCM rocks. Give us a hand and some sunshine. Let's make a difference and thank the divine. Life ain't just you, me, and mine. Hey, rock, 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 RCM rocks. Rotary rocks. Baby, at 93 we walk the talk. Hey, rock, RCM rocks. Yeah. Rejoice, reconnect, and reach out wide. Serve to change lives day and night. Igniting minds and giving them pride. Rock, 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 change makers rock. Rotary rocks. Baby, at 93 we walk the talk. Yeah, rock, RCM rocks. Woo! And gardens we make, saving the earth for the next gen's sake, giving more than what we take. Hey, rock, 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 RCM rocks. Rotary rocks. Baby, at 93 we walk the talk. Hey, rock, RCM rocks. Building livelihoods block by block. COVID and polio will get a shock. Good health and happiness we uncork. Rock, 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 RCM rocks. Sing with me. Rotary rocks. Baby, at 93 we walk the talk. Hey, rock, RCM rocks. And again, rock, RCM rocks. One last time. Hey, rock, RCM rocks.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Rotarian Prakash, for those nice words. Just thought I'll acknowledge the author. Before we go to the next point, the 14th weekly meeting minutes have been circulated. May I seek your confirmation of the same, please? Thank you. I now request that the four-way test be played. This is being done by our President-elect, Rotarian Jayashree Sridhar.
Good evening. Of the things we say and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Does it build goodwill and better friendships? Is it beneficial to all? These are the 4 tenets of the 4-way test. This is the month of October. On 2nd October every year, my country celebrates the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhiji's 2 main principles bear a very stark similarity to Rotary's 4-way test. Gandhiji spoke about truth. He said truth is the sovereign principle, and he also said there is no God above truth. The second thing he spoke about is inclusiveness. Inclusiveness that is built on goodwill, cooperation, and reaching out to everybody across communities, across nations, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, or tribe. There is just one thing I would like to say this evening in this August gathering. When we apply the 4-way test to our lives and we lead our life based on that, believe me, my dear friends, the Mahatma inside each one of us will come to the fore and shine through. Thank you very much and namaste.
Thank you so much, President-elect Jayashree. I think you couldn't have put the 4-way test into a better perspective than what you have just done. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Madras, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the RI President nominee, Gordon. Thank you very much. Words fail us in thanking you for accepting our invitation, honoring us with your presence, and I'm very sure delighting us with your talk, which is going to follow. I'd also like to welcome wholeheartedly our RI Director, Mahesh Kotbagi, the District Governor for District 3232, J. Sridhar, the District Governor nominee, Rotarian Ravi Raman, and the galaxy of past District Governors, current District Governors, District Governor nominees from various parts of India and the world, past presidents, my changemaker presidents, office bearers, past District Governors from our club, past presidents of our club, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all, most especially Gordon. Before I go into the official bit, which is to give you a little brief on our club, Gordon, let me tell you something. 18th of October, 1980 is a date you will never forget, because that's the date you got promoted as husband. Believe you me when I tell you, I too will not forget 18th of October 1980, because that is the date I got promoted from husband to father. My eldest son shares your anniversary, and we at the Rotary Club of Madras extend to you, though a day late, our happy anniversary greetings to you and Heather. May God give you bliss, joy, years of companionship and friendship, and may you continue to foster the spirit of Rotary in all that you touch. May God bless you both. A little bit about the Rotary Club of Madras. The Rotary Club of Madras is the third oldest club in India, being founded on by James Wheeler Davidson, fondly known as the Marco Polo of Rotary, in 1929. Our other clubs slightly earlier to us is Bombay by a few months, and of course Calcutta, which is much older but got reactivated. We, being the oldest club in the southern part of India, can proudly state that Rotary, which has grown to the 5 states and the 2 union territories which comprise the southern peninsular India, more than 50% of all Rotarians in India can trace their roots back to the Rotary Club of Madras. So in a way, we are a grandma to quite a large number of very enthusiastic people. Our club has made and undertaken many pioneering efforts, especially with regard to the red measles immunization initiative, which slowly grew to become the polio immunization effort when it came to India. In fact, I can say that we can claim, if not fatherhood, at least the motherhood for this program. We are today approximately 260 members strong. We have another 10 people in the pipeline undergoing various states of being processed to join. We have always believed in fellowship and service, never allowing any one to overshadow the other. Our club produced the first ever RI director from India, the late Rotarian Frederick E. James, in the year 1933-34. We have since had 18 district governors thus far, with the first ever district governor in India also being from our club, and it was Sir Frederick James again. In present times too, we have remained very relevant to the community. We have always been one of the first, if not the biggest, to move in whenever we have had a natural calamity or a pandemic, whether it was the tsunami, whether it is floods, earthquake, the pandemic currently. What we have done is, a little bit of it was seen in the video during the anthem. We have expanded our activities from 1929 by chartering over 20 clubs. And the beauty was we didn't restrict it only to our state. We chartered clubs in Cochin, we chartered clubs in Bangalore, we chartered clubs outside our state in Andhra Pradesh. So, and then of course to our city. We have also been very, very supportive of the foundation, having contributed over $2.5 million thus far. And we have also received a lot from the foundation. We have received the first 3H grant we got was in May 1985, with which we started the polio immunization program. That was for $2.06 million. And then in 1989, $608,000 to fund an 8-story, 200-bed facility called the Child's Trust Hospital, to which 2 weeks ago we went and gave 2 million rupees worth of an infant ventilator, thanks to the generosity of clubs in the United States, and another grant for $500,000, which was used to set up a rehabilitation center to take care of people affected by polio. This is just a small sample of the kind of work we do. We raise funds through a golf tournament, through art auction, and other such, should I say, innovative means, and not the usual methods. They have all been successful in the past. We've been doing each of them for over a dozen years now. We have a lot of fellowships, which like the Christmas evening, Diwali evening, and this and that. So fun has also been an integral part of our club. Youth services, we have 20 Interact clubs and 10 Rotaract clubs under our wing. All of them flourishing, doing well, thanks to a very active team. Under international services, we reached out to all the James Wheeler Davidson clubs. As you can see, I'm wearing a pin of the James Wheeler Davidson club. So we have reached out to them, and we hope that we will be getting together very soon. We have active twinning arrangements, and constantly, as you can see, the presence of so many guests from across the world, from Athens and Cairo and Malaysia and Colombo, and almost every part of every continent is represented here. I do not know if there are people from Australia. If they are there, welcome too. So thank you very much, Gordon, once again, for sparing your time. It's been a very singular honor for me as the president, 93rd president of this club, to welcome you into our midst, and to, what should I say, to mark the occasion. We have done something which I will be explaining to you. just after the formal secretary's announcement. Over to you, Rotarian Ganesh.
Thank you, President. Good evening, Rotarians and guests. It is our customary practice to wish our Rotarian members and spouses on their birthdays and anniversaries that fall in this week, leading up to the next weekly meeting on Tuesday. And it is my pleasure to do so. On the 21st of October, we have Rotarian Nataraj Ramaya celebrating his birthday. On the 22nd October, we have Rotarian Dr. Sharon Krishna Rao, Rotarian Ravi Malhotra celebrating their birthdays. On the 23rd October, we have Rotarian Sapru Matthew. On the 24th October, we have Rotarian Giridhar Hemdev. And on 25th October, we have Rotarian V. Sridhar celebrating their birthdays. On the 19th October, we have Dr. James F. Libby, spouse of Rotarian Maithili Shan Katari Libby, celebrating his birthday. On the 20th of October, we have Anne Mamta, spouse of Rotarian Ranjit Rathod. On 22nd October, we have Anne Sushila, spouse of Rotarian V.M. Sivasubramaniam. And on the 23rd October, we have Anne Priya, spouse of Rotarian Ravi Batkal, celebrating their birthdays. And on the 21st of October, we have Rotarian R. Kadiresan Adityan and Anne Vasugi celebrating their wedding anniversary. On the 22nd October, we have Rotarian Ramji Narasimhan and Anne Sharada. Rotarian Shano Ravi and Dr. Ravi Ramalingam celebrating their wedding anniversaries. And again, on the 22nd of October, we have Rotarian Lakshmanan Ramanathan and Anne Pratyusha celebrating their wedding anniversary. On the 23rd October, we have Rotarian K.S. Sudhakar and Anne Dr. Sunita. And on the 25th of October, we have Rotarian Lala Mathai and Anne Tangam celebrating their wedding anniversaries. And moving on to the next weekly meeting announcement, our next weekly meeting will be on the 26th of October. This will be our usual afternoon meeting with fellowship at 1:30 p.m., followed by a meeting at 2 p.m. And this will be virtual over Zoom. And we will have each of our directors of the club present their 100 days update on the activities of this Rotary year. Thank you, and over to you, President.
Thank you, Secretary Ganesh, for that crisp announcement. And I join you in wishing all those celebrating birthdays and anniversaries a great year ahead. Gordon, coming back to what I was saying, we noted that you are going to be the 118th president of the Rotary International. And to mark this, at our project site in Gummadipundi, which is a huge 30-acre facility which we have developed and which you're going to see shortly, we planted 118 fruit-bearing trees with the help of the Rotaract clubs and Rotaractors. And I'd like to play a small video which we have taken during the occasion, which will also showcase to you the kind of work we are doing at this place called Gummadipundi, which is about 35-40 kilometers out of the city. It's a short 2-minute video which culminates with 118 trees planted in your honor. We'll be happy that when you visit us, most of these trees should by then bear fruit, and we'll be happy to send you with a basket of fruits if permitted, if your customs will permit you taking them back. To the video, please. May I have the tree planting video?
We are delighted to be here planting 118 trees to commemorate 118th year of Rotary International, which falls on 2023 to 2024.
We are delighted to participate in the environmental activities of Rotary Club of Madras.
All the Rotary Club of Madras members are known as RCMs are environmentally conscious.
We are here standing at the Garden of Hope site.
Tree planting is a key initiative and helps to reduce global warming.
We are very pleased to be here in the RCM's Boys Town, and we are taking part in the tree plantation program.
Are delighted to join these initiatives and also become eco RCMs.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rotaractors and the committee, for putting that little thing together. I'm sure that Gordon will not be able to resist 118 trees planted in his honor. Before I request the president nominee of my club, Rotarian Ravi Sundaresan, to introduce our chief guest, I'd like to just give another 2-minute update on a few of the projects which we have on pending and which are due for launch in the next couple of months. The first is a global grant for Technical Training Center. A visual was shown there. This is for differently abled people to be trained in workshop technology, in operating lathes and milling machines and drilling machines, which are used in auto component manufacturing. This is being done by a very reputed trust called the Worth Trust in association with us. We also have a Schools into Smiles project where over 15 classrooms are being, schools are being refurbished and equipped with e-classrooms and all the relevant facilities. We have a WASH project in association with the Rotary Club of Bath, United Kingdom, which is due for launch. That's for about 3.5 million rupees, where we're building toilets for girls in a girls' school. We also have a 12-bed dialysis center planned, which is again due sometime in November, December. So these are some of the projects which we are hopeful of launching by the time, let's say, 2022 summer starts. May I now request Rotarian Ravi Sundaresan to introduce our chief guest, RI President nominee, Gordon McInally.
Good evening, Rotarians. I have been tasked with the privilege of introducing our chief guest and the speaker of the day, Rotary International President nominee, Rotarian Gordon McInally, selected by the nominating committee and confirmed by the President Sheikh Mehta. He will be the president of Rotary International for the year 2023 and 24. Reading his rather remarkable biography gave me a few insights into his personality, and I was floored by the scale and depth of this champion of Rotary. A man who combines compassion, creativity, and a commitment to service with sincerity and aplomb. I'm truly elated to introduce him to you through my eyes. So, where do I start? Let me begin with his impressive professional background in dental surgery. Gordon held several esteemed positions, including that of chair of East Scotland branch of the British Periodontic Society and various such academic positions. In 1984, he joined the Rotary Club of South Queensbury, and in a mere 7 years after joining, served as a club president in 1991 and 92, and district governor for District 1020 in 1997 and 98. After his retirement, Gordon and his wife, Ether, relocated to Scottish borders and are now members of the Rotary Club of Kelso, where Ether is currently the club president. Truly, the Rotary is an integral part of this family. Gordon has served Rotary in Great Britain and Ireland as a committee member and chairman of most of its administrative and service committees. He has served Rotary International in various capacities as a committee member and a chairman and as a member of RI board from 2007 to 2009. He was the chairman of the 2013 Rotary Institute and will repeat the role in 2020. He was the chairman of the 2018 Rotary International Convention. Currently, he is advisor to the Houston Convention Committee and chair of the Operations Review Committee. Gordon has candidly gone on record acknowledging that none of what he has achieved would have been possible without the unstinting support of his wife, Ether. They are both members of Bequest Society, Polaris Society, Rotary Foundation benefactors, and major donors. Gordon is also a patron of the charity Open Homes for Children and also for the trade aid. All of this speaks volumes of his empathy and commitment to service. Pondering the alchemy of this person, I am struck by several distinct qualities, key amongst them being his adaptability, creativity, focus, and vision. Gordon, being a man clearly looking to the future, recognize the gains that can accrue by promoting combination of new hybrid meetings, which encourage flexibility and appeal to different demographic along with the best of our practices. He also says face-to-face meeting remain important and encourage greater interaction. And it remains the best way to increase membership. And as he says, membership is the lifeblood of Rotary. He further opines that Rotary International, regional leaders, district teams need to engage with the clubs to support them better. And he believes that one critical way to manage this engagement is through social media. Since it will reinforce the Rotary brand, also showcase the opportunities that come with growing membership base. Gordon's focus is on continuing and strengthening the legacy of service, and he advocates the engaging with governments, corporations, and other organizations to build meaningful partnership in service. He has walked the talk, leading sincerely and with purpose in most creative ways. A man of many interests, Gordon enjoys good food, wine, rugby, soccer, opera, etc. Passionate about photography, he takes photos of the Scottish borders using a drone. Then he edits this, adding music to the video to create something quite fascinating. Woodworking is also another skill he learned, crafting shepherd's crook handles and innovatively recycling old wood into patio bar and temporary wood shed. Well, Gordon, we look forward to your creative spark, commitment, and vision in bettering our world. Rotarians, please put your hands together and welcome Rotarian Gordon McInally.
Welcome, Gordon. Welcome. Well, my dear Rotary friends from all over the Rotary world, thank you for such a warm welcome, and thank you to President nominee Ravi for such a fulsome and far too generous introduction. I don't know about the rest of you, but I cannot wait to hear what I have to say after an introduction as impressive as that. I have to say I'm also very impressed with your detective work that allowed you to share information way beyond that found in my regular Rotary biography. Clearly, somebody has been talking, and I will make it my job to find out who. It's a great privilege to be part of your meeting this evening, even although it is on a virtual basis, and even though I would much rather have been with you in person. Hopefully, over the next couple of years, I will have the opportunity to do just that, and we will meet face to face. At the outset, can I say it gives me the greatest of pleasure to bring you the warmest of greetings from Scotland and from the Rotary Club of South Queensferry and our president, Derek Clark. I'm delighted to see some of the members of the club on this call. I also, at the outset, want to say thank you to everybody in the Rotary Club of Madras for all the Rotary service you have given down the years. Service through providing Rotary leaders, but also the service you have provided to the community in which you operate. We saw in the video and we heard from President Mohan's comments just some of what you did, and I think it is exceptional, and I want to thank you for everything you have done. Of course, you'll be aware that there are a great many links between Scotland and your city, stretching back as far as 1644, when Fort St. George was established, that later became Madras and is now Chennai. Do you know, it was a Scot, Dr. Andrew Bell, who founded the Madras system of education, where senior students teach younger students. And it was another Scot, Dr. Hugh Cleghorn, who was an early example of an environmentalist and who incidentally was educated at the same school in Edinburgh as I was, who in 1855 formed the Madras Forest Department, which is now the Tamil Nadu Forest Department. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with St. Andrew's Kirk, which was consecrated 200 years ago this year in 1821. So our two countries are very connected. But enough of history. It's time for some Rotary. And when I was initially asked to join you this evening, it was suggested that I talk about my vision for Rotary. And of course, I'm only too happy to do so. And I have to say, in doing so, I apologize to those guests who may have heard my vision previously. But unsurprisingly, it hasn't changed since I became president nominee on the 1st of October. In truth, my vision for Rotary is relatively simple in that I want to see us grow and continue to change and innovate, to transform and to improve, to reflect the times in which we live, especially at this pivotal time as we navigate through and out of the current global pandemic, and in doing so better serve the needs of those who desire and deserve our help. There can be little doubt we live in challenging times, and I hope you don't think I'm exaggerating when I say things might never be the same again. But you know, that might not be a bad thing. I'm a great believer in looking for the positives in any negative. And there are a great many positives coming out of the current challenging situation. Positives like the opportunity for us to take stock and reevaluate our priorities in our own lives and in the society in which we live. Positives like the opportunity for us to take stock and reevaluate the way we operate in Rotary at every level, from club through district to zone and all the way to Rotary International. Positives, like the fact, had it not been for the current situation, I might not have been able to join you this evening. Now, of course, by the time I've finished, some of you might think that is a distinct negative, but the next few minutes will tell. We've heard the phrase build back better a great deal during the current crisis. But it's important that we don't just build back better, but that we build forward better. And it's interesting to note that Rotary has always built forward better following crises. Our membership and therefore our ability to serve grew following the Spanish flu epidemic of 1918. We grew after the Great Depression of 1921. We grew after the Asian flu pandemic of 1957. And we also grew after both world wars. But I would suggest that only happened because Rotarians at that time seized an opportunity. And so as we find ourselves approaching the end of another crisis, you, me, all of us must seize this opportunity to take Rotary forward into the new normal. But we need to do it now before the opportunity passes. We're changing faster than ever at the moment in terms of embracing new technology and embracing new ways of thinking. And I think we've probably seen the sort of changes that would have taken place anyway over the next 5 to 10 years take place within the last year or so. This pandemic has given us a unique opportunity to draw a line in the sand and review our entire method of operating. And so I believe that as we navigate through it, there is a big conversation to be had about our future. Some of the most exciting things about Rotary just now are the opportunities that come as far as the way we operate at club level. Because, as has already been said, we have so much more flexibility. We can welcome visitors from all over the world. Just look at this evening. Last year, after moving to online meetings, my own club held a monthly conversation, which featured people like RI President Shekhar Mehta, RI President-elect Jennifer Jones, and immediate past President Holger Knacht, to name but three. We had up to 250 people attending from as many as 20 different countries. People connected, people shared challenges, and they supported each other through some hard times. In some cases, clubs from different countries, through meeting in that forum, joined together on collaborative projects. It was a great use of technology and a great way to embrace the challenges that had been placed on us. And it could never have happened on a face-to-face basis. We've got a unique opportunity just now to engage with those who during this pandemic have embraced the concept of volunteering and have them join us to continue giving service. Because membership is the lifeblood of our organisation. Whilst I recognise that membership is growing in your part of the world, it's always concerned me that so many new members choose to leave Rotary relatively soon after joining. I was staggered to learn that 1.3 million people joined Rotary in the 10 years to July 2019. And yet our global membership fell by 20,000. We must reduce this turnover. And so the retention of new members through proper engagement with them will be very much part of my vision for membership growth. I know there will be a great base to work from following President Shekhar's initiative of Each One Get One this year. And I look forward to keeping each one we get this year during 23-24. I also want to encourage the flexibility now available to allow existing clubs to operate in a way that suits their current and future members now and in the years to come, as well as encouraging the establishment of new style Rotary clubs. We're very fortunate that there is now so much opportunity to embrace new club models that don't need to be bound by style of meeting, by geography, or by suitability of a venue. These new club models allow us to engage with a different audience, an audience that maybe doesn't want to meet every single week, an audience that maybe does not want to have a meal, an audience that maybe does not want to meet face-to-face at all, but wants to meet in a manner that suits them. These people have every bit as much of a social conscience as me and you, and are every bit as keen to do good in the world as any one of us. Having joined Rotary at the age of 26 and having served as district governor at 39 and subsequently joined the board of directors at 49, I believe I can speak from personal experience to the younger demographic with regard to the benefit of Rotary membership. And there are many, too many to enumerate here. But let's not forget the other demographics who have adequate time, savings, and a desire to do good. The flexibility I mentioned earlier means we can appeal to these people too. My vision for Rotary is that clubs, groups, call them what you will, exist in a style to suit everyone who has the desire to be a part of us and to help us fulfill our mission in the world. I'm pleased that Rotary has formally recognised the importance of diversity, equity and inclusion, and our emphasis on this will definitely do us good and help us in further promoting Rotary as a place where all can feel welcomed and all can be valued. By attracting a diverse membership, we will enhance our presence on the world stage and will increase our ability to do impactful service projects, which after all is one of the main reasons we exist. Things are getting better with regard to diversity. Last year, we set a goal of women being 30% of our membership and 30% of our leadership by 2023. And we're making steady progress to that goal. At present, 26% of Rotary Club presidents are women, 22% of our district governors are women, and 37% of our board of directors are women. Next year, that figure will go up to 47%. And as you know, next year we will all be delighted to welcome Jennifer Jones as Rotary International's first female president. This is all well overdue, and we're happy to be making progress. But still, we see only 24% of women being represented in Rotary's global membership. And that needs to change. You know, we can learn a lot here from our Rotaractor members, where every facet of our community is already represented. Rotaract membership has 51% women worldwide. Rotaract doesn't talk about women Rotaractors. And that's a very significant point, as it shows that in Rotaract, there is true gender equality. And I long for the day when we stop talking about women Rotarians, as that too will be the day when Rotary also has true gender equality. So we have more work to do, not only to elevate women in Rotary, but just as importantly, to elevate other underrepresented voices as well. But we will do so. Believe me, we will do so. To turn to another element of my vision for Rotary, allow me to say something about our own charity, the Rotary Foundation. With Africa joining the continents that are polio-free, and with supporting the environment being added as an area of focus, our reputation, our ability, and the opportunity to do impactful service has grown substantially, and this requires a strong foundation. India has a wonderful record of supporting our foundation, and frankly, we would not be able to do a fraction of what we do were it not for your generosity. So I thank you for that. But it saddens me that around 2/3 of all Rotarians make no contribution to the Rotary Foundation, especially at a time when the demands on it are increasing. Past President Ravi Ravindran, a man for whom I have the highest regard, recently tweeted, "Not everyone has the resource to make a large contribution, but every Rotarian has the ability to make some contribution to our foundation." I'm inclined to agree with him. Therefore, as president, I hope to support the Rotary Foundation, not only to increase giving overall, but to persuade each Rotarian to contribute something to what is, after all, their foundation. My friends, during my 37 years in Rotary, I have seen the innovation and changes we have made with my own eyes. I've seen what works, and arguably more importantly, I've seen what does not work. And I believe that insight is invaluable. All of us in Rotary can be very proud of our heritage and where we've come from. But please remember, we need to capitalize on the amazing opportunity we have right now to take a greater leap and move forward faster into a world where we must remain willing and brave enough to continue to change and to innovate. Change can be daunting, but it can also be exciting and energizing, and we must embrace it and strive on it. Now, you may detect that my vision for Rotary is also closely aligned with the RI Action Plan. That is no coincidence. The continuity provided by our action plan is vital to the overall growth and well-being of Rotary. I've always been a great advocate of continuity in Rotary, and I've tried to practice it at every level of Rotary leadership, be it in the club, district, zone, or on the international stage. I believe strongly in the concept of Rotary's years, where there's a seamless transition between leaders, rather than the concept of my year, where an individual takes us in one direction, only for others to take us in different directions in subsequent years, where individuals will not embark on any initiatives that do not complete in their year because they're worried they don't get the credit for it. I believe we owe more than that to those who have gone before us and to those who will follow us. And if I may, there is one other group to whom I believe we owe more than that. I couldn't help but notice that up until yesterday, a total of 452,485 people in India had died from coronavirus. Now, that might not seem like a huge number compared to the 4.9 million who have died worldwide. But not one of these people is just a statistic. Not one of them is just a number. Doubtless, some of them were known to you. They were mothers, they were fathers, they were brothers, sisters, they were colleagues, they were friends. And I firmly believe we owe it to their memories to make sure we go forward in a positive way as we try to improve Rotary and steer it into the future, but more importantly, as we better serve the communities in which we live. If you might allow me to change direction slightly. We're all very good about discussing how Rotary should operate, how meetings should be run, how we might attract and retain new members, how we might form new clubs, how we might increase support to our foundation. But in the time remaining to me, I'd also like to say something about the why, because I think it's vital we never lose sight of why Rotary exists. It exists to help people live a better life. It exists to make the world a better place. To borrow the motto of the Rotary Foundation, it exists to do good in the world. But what good do we do? That, of course, is not always the easiest of questions to answer. And I would suggest that at the most basic level, the good Rotary does is that it brings people hope. Hope for the future. By bringing people hope, I honestly believe we can go a long way to making major inroads into strife, and as a consequence, create a more peaceful world. And thankfully, Rotary is committed to working for peace. And never forget, peace is not just the absence of war. Peace is freedom. Peace is healthy children and adults. Peace is clean water and sufficient food. Peace is education, human rights, dignity, clothing, housing, and concern for mankind. Most of all, peace is love. Over the past few years, I've seen with my own eyes many examples of how Rotary brings people hope, how Rotary brings people peace, how Rotary brings people love. And I'm sure many of you have too, but perhaps it's worth reflecting on just a few of these examples this evening. I've held the hands of AIDS orphans living in abject poverty in Rwanda and elsewhere in Africa through no fault of their own. These children will live or die depending on Rotary. I've walked alongside people forced to walk miles for water, which is both polluted and diseased because there's no pump in their village. These people will drink clean water or not, dependent on Rotary. I've sat beside children reading school books as the evening light has faded, and I've seen the joy in their faces as the solar lights we provided came on to give them the light to continue studying. These children will be educated or not, dependent on Rotary. And only 3 years ago, I watched people in rural Kenya prepared to walk miles on their own to a dental clinic in a remote village in which I was serving, because Rotary had promised to stop their pain. They were going to suffer or not, dependent on Rotary. And these are only 4 examples of countless others I could give you where Rotary, where you give people hope for a more peaceful world, hope for a more caring world, hope for a more loving world, hope for a kinder world. And so I would suggest that the bringing of hope provides the answer to the question, why does Rotary exist? As I draw these remarks to a close, can I remind you that as far back as 1996, the late US Senator Robert Kennedy delivered a speech that included the words, "We live in interesting times." Well, there is little doubt that 55 years later, we live in interesting times, very interesting times. But I also believe we live in exciting times, times when we really can transform the way we think and operate on every level, for the betterment not only of Rotary, but also for our children and our children's children, as well as for our planet. Ending poverty and protecting the planet depends on wide-scale transformation made at the personal, community, and societal levels throughout the whole world. Rotary International is ready to embrace change and transform. I am ready to embrace change and transform, and I hope you all are too. Thank you for allowing me to be with you this evening. Thank you for everything you do, and more importantly, thank you for everything you will do. I look forward to working alongside you. Each and every one of you is a credit to the badge you wear, and I am proud, very proud, to belong to the same organization as you. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you for those, should I just call them inspiring words? Because it's tough for somebody to touch, prod the intellect and at the same time prod the heart. You managed to hit us in both places. I now move on to some people who we thought should felicitate you. I'd like to start with Rotary International Director Mahesh Kotbagi to deliver his address. Thank you, Rotarian Mahesh. Thank you so much, RI Director.
Thank you, Mohan. Namaste. Gordon, such a lovely, inspiring speech which you delivered now. We didn't even realize that the incoming president will, cover all the areas of focus what Rotary Foundation talks. Gordon not only looks like an incoming president, but he also looks like an incoming Santa Claus for the incoming Christmas. It's a country from where he belongs, which has taught the world the best change of guards. And the whole world knows that Scotland, the way they meticulously change the change of guards, Gordon also talks about continuity in terms of leadership. And I was absolutely happy to learn that he's emphasized on membership, DEI, as well as promoting Rotary Foundation is equally important. And I really feel, very great to welcome him on our behalf of our zone. That zone 4, 5, 6, 7, Gordon, is a zone which comprises of India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and Nepal. And these all 4 zones together, they have been doing phenomenally great work. I'm so sure that you have witnessed some of the projects in India, but today India is not only a taking country, but it has come to the rank of level 2 in terms of Rotary Foundation's support. The more or less, this Rotary year, every month, this part of zone is adding around about 4,000 to 5,000 members each month. And we intend to cross around about 50,000 to 60,000 members in 1 year itself. Our commitment to you is not only add members this year, but to retain them in your year, because we believe in continuity. And I think this is a day, it's a very special day, let me tell you, Gordon. Today is a full moon day in India, as well as so many places in the world. And it's an auspicious day, we call it Purnima. And on that day, everything what we think, I think Lord gives good blessings. And I think that is the reason this zone is giving showers and showers of good blessings to you on the eve of, special Kojagiri Purnima. We wish that you should come here and enjoy the flavors of warm hospitality, country which has lots of colors, food, people with, warm heart, willing to open the doors to welcome you anytime when you feel. In fact, I was just requesting our president that we would like to have Gordon as our president's representative in one of the districts in India to give our special welcome over here and then really rejoice your incoming leadership. All the best and may God bless you, Gordon. Thank you so much for coming and delivering to Rotary Club of Madras. Thank you.
Thank you, RI. Thank you, RI Director Rotarian Mahesh Kotbagi, for your kind and generous words of welcome and for having invited Gordon on our behalf. Just to add to what he said about the generosity, I'm happy to say that the Rotary Club of Madras has one Arch Club Society member with a contribution of over $500,000, and we also have 54 major donors. I now move to request our District Governor, Rotarian J. Sridhar, to deliver his address, please.
President Mohan Raman and Rotary International President nominee, Gordon McInally and Mrs. Heather, welcome to Chennai, the Victorian times of Madras, otherwise, as you know always. Welcome to the RA President nominee from the island nation to this great country, India, and we are very happy to have you here today. I think you have covered many things. There are many things that you've spoken about our district, and I thought I'll just give you one or two information about our district, and I'm looking forward to see you in Houston, of course. In District 32 is with 7,479 Rotarians with 13% women membership. And we have got about 18% of the presidents of this year are women. So we are coming closer to the world expectation by 2023, which is 30%. I'm sure we'll definitely add a little more percentages so that when I meet you in Houston, I can definitely say that I've added at least 50% more than what I'm here today. And we are very happy to have you here. Since long time, we never have anyone from the island nation. Of course, the Chennai has got a great crowd of doctors who have been qualified from Scotland. And of course, most of the Chennai doctors are also there in Edinburgh, the whole of Scotland and England with NHS. So welcome to Chennai once again, and we wish you a great year as president. And of course, this district and the Rotarians from this part of the world will be there with you, shoulder to shoulder, to take your vision into reality. And we wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, District Governor Sridhar. Before I request the next speaker, who is the District Governor nominee, Rotarian Ravi Raman, may I remind you all to post your questions, if any, to our RI President nominee, Gordon, in the chat box, and so that our past President Gopinath can pick it up and then string them together. So there's no need to put up your hands or anything. Just post your question in the chat box. I request that the chat box be open for everyone before the next speaker comes on. I request District Governor nominee Ravi Raman to say a few words.
Thank you, President Mohan Raman, for this opportunity. RA President nominee Gordon, it's always a pleasure to listen to you. I think this is the third time I'm listening to you. And just information from my side, there are 41 of us governors, or 41 of your governors are from zone 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I've already heard you a couple of times earlier, and we are getting some idea of what you want us to do. And we're also waiting to meet you physically sometime soon so that we can take this forward. And I also think the first week or second week of November, we're trying to have a meeting with you to have better clarity as to what you want us to do. Also, what's happened is we recently met in Goa. So basically, we have all 38 of us had a meeting there. So it was a good bonding session. So we more or less kind of know each other. So we are trying to make a team amongst us, the 41 of us. Almost all of us are like really, it's going on very well. And I think there are 41 governors out of your 540 or 550 governors around the world. So we are going to make a nice group for you, and we are waiting to listen more to what you say. We have been listening to what you said so far. I think about 15 or 20 of our governors are already listening here. So we are waiting to hear more from you, and then we can work out a plan how to take this forward. But I expect a really good time with you in that year. Thank you. Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you. Thank you, District Governor nominee Ravi Raman, for your kind words. Over to you, Rotarian Gopinath, for you to recognize the presence of several of our distinguished visitors and then moderate the question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Mohan. Welcome on my behalf and the club's behalf, RIPN Gordon. It was a wonderful exposition of your thoughts on Rotary. It really touched everyone's hearts, as our president said. And just before I start, let me tell you that there were at one point 775 people on this call. And we also have Ranjan Dhingra, who is going to be the RI director when you take over. And we have, as Ravi Raman said, DGNs from many districts, but I can recognize two of them. One is Wakar Rizvi from 5220 USA, California, USA, Stockton. And the other one is Salman Mubarak from 3272 Pakistan. And of course, Ravi Raman himself. And we also have on the call many past district governors from all over the world. And we have Rotarians attending this on the call from Colombia, Brazil, USA, Canada, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, even Melbourne, which is very late in the day for them. And even from Melbourne, they are on the call. So, and then of course, a host of people from India. So I'm sure they were all looking forward to this, and they're not going to go disappointed from what they heard just now. So this is as far as, and of course, one more thing I would like to say is I'd like to personally thank Past District Governor Subramaniam Ganesh from the Rotary Club of Merthyr Tydfil from Wales, who was instrumental in getting this meeting organized for us. And thank you very much, PDG Ganesh. I know you're on the call. And also your president, Derek, and your members, I had sent out a personal invite to them, and I'm sure Derek is there, although I have not seen him. Now let the cat out of the bag. We got all the other extra information from your club. And I think it was really nice to kind of talk to the audience about what is more than the mundane biodata that everyone presents. So thank you so much. And now as far as the questions are concerned, I don't see many questions on because it was also good what you said, but there's one hand raised. There's PDG Shad Elauer, AKS Platinum Trustee Circle from Las Vegas. His hand is raised. Shab, do you want to say something? If you're on the call again, can someone unmute him, please, if he's not able to do it? Ganesh?
Well, good morning.
Yeah, morning, Shab. You go ahead.
Good evening. I'm honored to be on your call this morning. It's always inspiring to be with great Rotarians. Because of you, I think we gain all these beautiful hands and kind hearts to help around the world. President nominee Gordon, I didn't hear you before, but you're inspiring. The speech, it will resonate in a lot of us for many years to come. So thank you again. My question, or this pandemic have changed the way we do business in the world. And you had, as you said, the opportunities are great around the world, especially because this pandemic has changed us and we were able to change because we were forced to change. I see that President-elect Jennifer Jones has been in Paris in the past month, and our support, Rotary support for global citizens is unwavering. I mean, it's for financial and everything else. Why not? Knowing that we need all the members in the world, it's beautiful to have all the members in the world. Why not Rotary have Rotary global membership? Does not belong to any club, does not belong to any district, but only belongs to Rotary International.
Well, first of all, thanks very much for the question, Shab, and thanks very much for joining us all the way from Las Vegas at this time of day. It must be very early in the morning in Nevada, so thank you for that. Interesting you should touch on the topic of global membership, because that is something we are currently exploring, is global membership. As I think I indicated in my presentation, what I want to see is a whole range of membership opportunities. And there are a lot of people for whom being a member of a club to serve Rotary is the way they want to go forward. But you're absolutely right in that there is also a place for the global member. And at the moment, we are working on a scheme to introduce that very concept where somebody will become a member of Rotary, but will not be aligned to any specific Rotary club. And that will open up membership again. Just as we've opened up membership at several times in our history, we will open up membership again by opening almost a new category. But it's at the very early stages, so you're clearly, your thinking is at the forefront of Rotary thinking. So thank you very much for the question.
Thank you.
And I would certainly say watch this space, because I think it's something you will see coming much more out in the open in the next little while.
Well, thank you very much. And this is for you and for all our members. This call, you are faction and peace builder. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shab. Can I request our past president, Shrikant? I think he had a question. Can you come on line, Shrikant, and ask your question? Can he be unmuted, please? Ganesh? Yeah, Shrikant.
Unmuted.
Yeah.
That was a very inspirational talk, Gordon, if I may call you Gordon. My question is this: your fellow Scot, Sean Connery, known to most of us as James Bond, reportedly said that he would like to kill James Bond. Now, I know you wouldn't want to kill anyone, but what social ill would you most like to kill as RI president?
Well, I remember Sean Connery as James Bond very well, and he was an icon of Scotland, and is greatly missed by the Scots. In terms of which social ill would I like to kill? I would dearly love to put an end to poverty, because I think poverty is a social ill that we continues to pull us down as humanity. I suspect I would be rather ambitious to say that in the space of 12 months, from the 1st of July 2023 to the 30th of June 2024, it would be in my power to eliminate poverty from the face of the earth. But if we could improve things, we would be making steps, and every step is a step along the way. We need to educate more people. We need to give people better nutrition. We need to give people clean water, and all these things will go to help eliminate poverty from the world. But we must make the world a more equitable place. Nobody chooses as to where they are born in the world and into what circumstances they're born in the world. But I believe an organization like Rotary can make the world a more equitable place. And so, yeah, if you pin me down and say, which social ill would I like to kill? I would like to kill poverty.
Thank you. You have the Rotary Club of Madras behind you and our many friends from around the world.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shrikant. And President Nominee Gordon, can you tell me if you have enough time? There are now a few questions that have appeared on the chat box, and also two raised hands.
I probably have 5 minutes more if you don't mind, because I do have another meeting to attend.
All right, so let me go with the first question that's on the chat box. It's from Anne Frisch. In fact, she's also raised her hand. She says, Rotary has recently divested its funding from corporations that negatively impact climate, hurt our efforts to be inclusive and promote equity, and from building nuclear weapons. This means our money does good twice when it is invested and when it is spent. What is the response to this new policy in Rotary?
So,
do you want me to repeat this question?
Well, maybe we could unmute Anne and allow her to put the question herself. I can see her there with her hand up.
Yeah, Anne, can Anne Frisch be unmuted, please, if she wants to ask the question herself?
Yes, thank you so much, and so glad to be here. I am also a fellow Scot, and very proud of my heritage. Rotary Foundation has divested from and will not invest in corporations that undermine our sustainable climate and our efforts for inclusivity and equity. And they have said they will not invest and will divest from nuclear weapons building. I'm just interested in how you see this. It seems like a very forward move to me, very exciting for Rotary to be tackling big problems of the world and making our money go for good twice.
Well, absolutely, Anne, and you make a very, very valid point. And I think it goes beyond Rotary taking a stand and, as you say, divesting from and taking a stand not to invest in certain things. I think it behoves us all to look at what investments we might have, and I think it's showing leadership to the organization and to the membership that we should all be very mindful of where we are investing and where we are putting our money, so that we are taking a stand. And it's one way of showing that we are ethical. It's one way of showing that we are keen to sustain an environment and reverse some of the changes that have been placed on the planet so far. So thank you very much. That is an entirely appropriate final question, if you don't mind me saying.
Thank you very much, Gordon. Can you take two more questions, Gordon?
No, he said final question, Gopi.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Fine. All right.
May I now request immediate past President Kapil Chitale to formally propose the vote of thanks. I promise you we won't take more than 2-3 minutes, Gordon, so you can be in time for your next appointment.
Thank you, President Mohan. Well, it's my privilege to be given this opportunity to express our gratitude this evening. Well, RIPN, Rotary Gordon, McInally, I think you must be inundated with requests to and invitations to address clubs from around the world. And I thank you for taking the time for sharing your vision of Rotary with us. Well, managing a large organization as Rotary is certainly extremely challenging. I've seen it running one club. And you have articulated your thoughts and plans with absolute clarity. You know, it brings to mind something that Charles Darwin had once said, and that was that it's not the strongest that survive, nor the most intelligent, but rather the one that is most adept to change. And I think you've very succinctly said it in no uncertain terms. Thank you so much for that. And thank you to Heather for joining us as well this evening. I would also like to thank our RI director, Mahesh Kotbagi. I think he made references to change of guard, leadership, etc., which he recognized. Thank you for that. Also felicitated by our own District Governor J. Sridhar, who has, given so much of attention to lady membership, very aptly. District Governor nominee Ravi Raman, he's got something up his sleeve, I assure you, which I'm sure you'll be happy to see when he takes over at your term. What I would call as a common thread is the fact that each of them have and are seen to be extremely resilient and innovative in their various approaches in Rotary. Thank you, gentlemen, for the felicitation. I would also like to thank our past District Governor, Rotarian Subramaniam Ganesh, a very senior Rotarian from the Rotary Club of Methur from Wales, who along with our own past President, Rotarian Gopinath, have arranged and ensured your presence with us this evening. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Well, to all the Rotarians from various clubs around the world, Rotractors, Interactors, and guests who participated this evening, have a great day or a lovely evening wherever you may be. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Kapil. Thank you, RIP nominee Gordon. With that,
thank you, Gordon.
With that, the meeting is now closed. Thank you. Have a
thank you so much, Gordon, for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much for allowing me to spend the time with you. It's been a wonderful experience. Thank you. And
now
thank you,
you should come to Madras next, and probably we will pitch in for the RI rep through our District Governor Sridhar for his district conference. Now that
thank each and every one of you. There are still 467 people on the call. Thank each and every one of you for everything you do for Rotary.
There are also